does that sound, you ask?
From the #1 station, you come.
Welcome to the Rec Show podcast, a show dedicated to beatmakers around the world. Kick back, relax with the host, Golden Mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Yo, let me tell you right now, man, this joint is bananas. So go ahead and go to code12ers.bandcamp.com, click on some slight, and go ahead and support that, man. Alright? Don't sleep, man. Yo, shout out to Mons Rock, man. You got another heat rock with this one, man. Keep getting better and better, man. So I appreciate you. I appreciate the shout out as well for the Rec Show podcast. Yeah, man. So, yo, we gonna get right into it, man. Today, we have another beat maker. I mean, we're going all the way to, now let me make sure I get this right, yo. We're going to Cape Girardeau, Missouri. All right, so I think this is the second beat maker from Missouri. First one was Jomi Beats. All right, and then now we're going to Cape Girardeau, Missouri, man, with somebody that's been flipping vocals, flipping beats, being creative, linking with the homies. Definitely a nostalgic vibe, man. Yo, I just love it. Yo, man, like I came up with Nintendo, so you definitely, I was like, yo, who the heck is this guy? And then I started listening to his flips and stuff like that, and boom, here we are, man. He's on the show, man. So I want y'all to give it up for the one and only YNGLNK. Welcome YNGLNK to the show, man. We are going to hear his music, his flips, tap in with him, get to learn a little bit about him. And yeah, that's how we're gonna rock out today, man. So y'all sit back, relax, smoke them if you got them. Put this on while you driving, flying, biking, walking, skateboarding, doing laundry, vacuuming, whatever you gotta do, man. Just put it on, stargazing, sun gazing, whatever, watching football. You know what I mean? And let's go like that, alright? So peace and love to everybody. We are gonna be right back. Stay tuned, alright? Love, yo.
Hey, look here, I'm getting ready to go around and check this here group out, you know?
Oh, yeah? What's the name of it, man?
Oh, they're called Mons Rock.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's go out and check them out. What they playing, man?
Oh, they're rehearsing right now.
Oh, they're rehearsing? Oh, all right. Let's go down and check them out.
Hey, yo, this is YNGLNK. I'm plugged into the Rec Show podcast with Golden Mind. If you're a beathead, welcome home.
listening to Young Link. The name of this track is called 3 Bullet Time Bounce. Yeah, man. So we are here with Young Link. We're going to get right into the episode and the interview right now. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yo, so Young Link, I want to say, first of all, welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to spotlight you. And let's get right into question number one, which is, for the beatheads at the internets, go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, what your name means, and how your name was created, and how long you've been making beats, and also any associated collectives or labels, if you have any, or you are a part of any.
Golden Mind. Yo, thank you for having me. I want to say first off, I go by Young Link. Been making beats for probably like 5-6 years. I've been under multiple aliases. Most notably, I guess, would be Legions. I was making way different music back then, and obviously now under Young Link. The name is obviously from Zelda, the beloved Zelda. In my opinion, top 3 franchises, video games of all time. Still putting out heat too. If you saw the new Breath of the Wild trailer, finally announced it, Breath of the Wild 2. Tears of the Kingdom looks fire. I can't wait to play it. No associated collectives or labels or anything. I definitely mess with a lot of different labels, but I'm not associated with anyone. But I definitely work with a lot of cats with the Sunday Dinner crew. So shout out to all those guys. Yo Daddy Do, Jigsaw Paul, Jayu Burp, Wigflippa, the whole crew over there. I've worked with almost all of them. And I mess with a lot of the 40 Acres crew too. So Texas, I found that in my journey on the internet through beatmaking, a lot of the scene is down south, and Texas is definitely popping. The Austin and Dallas area got a lot of talent down there. So shout out to everybody down there.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at right now. I'm in Texas, so soon I'm gonna be going to the a couple of the beat sets that Pressing Matters has. There's some other ones that be out in Austin as well, but yeah, shout out to Dallas and Texas and all the Sunday Dinner records. I think I was talking to Wigflippa maybe a few months ago, but yeah, man, I'm very impressed with what they do day in and day out, man. So yeah, man. So okay, let's get into a little bit of your background, man. How did you begin your journey into music, beats, and and sampling? And then, are you trained on any instruments currently? Or are you self-taught?
I began my journey into music. I played in bands and stuff back in the day in high school. I'm 33 now, so those days are like far behind me. But back in high school and like right after high school, I was touring in the Midwest and East Coast, really. But yeah, I played guitar, but I can play piano, drums, bass. I played trumpet in high school. I couldn't now, if you ask me. I mean, I could play a note, but I can't read music anymore. And yeah, everything I do, like as far as playing keys on any of my beats, is all just off a straight ear. Just playing around until it sounds right, But but that's definitely how my journey began, is playing guitar and getting into like local bands. And that scene is definitely like a lot more prominent here than beat making and producing. As far as sampling, man, I think obviously the classic samples everybody knows, and you know what songs they're from, you know, like when you hear like Kanye sampling. And so I mean, I knew about it, but I think my ears really opened up to it when I heard like more modern samples. And a person that really influenced my sound back when I was making beats under the name Legions was Clams Casino. And I remember he has one of his more popular tracks. It's like a sample of Imogen Heap, I think. But I recognized the sample like immediately, and I knew, you know, it was a more modern sample. And I don't know, for some reason, because I had associated sampling with all these classic records, I didn't realize that that was possible and that you could just, you know, sample anything really. And, you know, once I just took off from there, I just started grabbing, you know, any and everything and mashing things together, and a lot didn't work. And, you know, hopefully I'm finding my way to a few things that do work.
Yeah, man, I think you're doing a great job, man. You finding your way for you doing it just a short time, man. The upside is immense, man. So keep doing your thing, man. I started with trumpet also in band, so and then everything I make is by ear as well. So yeah, man, keep doing your thing, bruh. But okay, so let's get into the good, which is, you know, which family members or friends kind of like expose you to an incredible world of music?
My mom, definitely. I mean, I was a white kid in the Midwest, you know. I was born in Tennessee and I currently in Missouri. So, I mean, you know, I was definitely around a lot of country music, and I think that's why I'm into the music I'm into now, you know. Kind of what you're forced upon, you kind of gravitate away from, or repel from, I guess. But yeah, my mom definitely would have like these weird irks or inklings to play like R&B and hip hop stuff sometimes. She was a huge Salt and Pepper fan, and In Vogue, Sade. I mean, you know, some like really heavy hitting R&B. And I think because that was like a seldom thing in my house, it just piqued my interest. And it was such a different sound than, you know, friggin' Alan Jackson. You know, when I heard like these soulful voices and like smooth instrumentation and, you know, heavy bass, you know, it just piqued my interest. And I think, like I said, I was so driven away from country music, I just started to gravitate towards that. And, you know, I'm also a kid that the internet came around when I was, you know, just hitting like my adolescence. So I really like grew up without and with the internet. Like I'm kind of like in that weird middle ground generation. And but yeah, I was able to, you know, use those AOL discs and explore the internet and find all this crazy music and crazy worlds.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to moms. Shout out to, you know, R&B, right? Because, you know what I mean? Like, she could have played everything everybody else was listening to, you know, country and stuff like that. But I think she didn't even probably know she was doing it, but she just put more genres on your palette that you like to listen to, you know. So that's the same way, you know. My mom's had me listening to, like, you know, the R&B, Patti LaBelle's, Mary J. Blige's, and who else, man? Sade, Prince, like a whole bunch. And then in fourth, yeah, I ain't telling my story. Anyway, yeah, man. So shout out to the moms, man. Mother YNGLNK. So listen, okay, so what's one moment that sparked your interest into creating your own beats or music? And then when did you know it was time to let the internet hear your beats and your flips?
I mean, I used to watch when I first even tried to pick up making beats. It was just coincidental, honestly. I had known a few people that had tried it, a few friends. Never seriously, just had messed around with like FL Studio, and you know, I had just seen it. And I had gotten a MacBook, and it came with GarageBand. And so I just started messing around in there. And, you know, I made like some simple, you know, 8-bar loop with like a pad and a little drum pattern. And yeah, I kind of took off from there. And honestly, GarageBand is where everything started for me. And then I graduated to, I think everybody that starts on GarageBand graduates to Logic, which I am a firm believer in. I stand behind Logic, like, fully. I don't believe there's one DAW that's like better or sounds better or anything like that, but I think Logic is like super solid and user friendly, and yeah, there's not really a huge learning curve. Like, you just poke around for a few hours, and yeah, I definitely, if you're getting into music, Logic, GarageBand, take those baby steps. But yeah, that, and I used to watch cook-up videos, and I would see like Arab music on the MPC, and that used to just like blow my mind with the finger drumming, and that's how I like knew sampling too. I also, for whatever reason back then, associated sampling with hardware. Like, you had to have an MPC to sample. I don't know why, but yeah, I definitely had that weird association. Yeah, and then one day I just drug a audio file into Logic and started manipulating and took it from there.
Yeah, man, I definitely understand starting from whatever you have, man. And that's how most of us start anyway, is using whatever you have at that time to create something, and then you just build from there, man. I mean, you never gonna have everything you need or want in the beginning. So start where you are, start with what you have, and build from there, man. And yo, just keep building, man. So yeah, I definitely understand that. Cause my first beats in GarageBand were straight garbage, you know. But I look back on them now like it's growing, you know what I mean? Those are my training wheels, you know? So now I can run in and out of GarageBand. I know how to do the effects and all that stuff, you know, just with experience. So, but, all right, so if you're able to, can you name one beat as your greatest beat of all time? You know what I mean? And then which beatmaker or music producer flipped it into that beat into something crazy for the world? You know what I mean? That just blew your mind, you know?
Man. That's tough. I don't know. I know a beat that like always makes me happy is Player. You know, the Dilla joint. I think Dilla just makes everybody happy, honestly. But yeah, that's probably, I wouldn't say it's the greatest of all time, but I know that beat, if that comes on, I'm gonna be happy, you know. And it also was like just realizing that you can use, like, you know, obviously the sample saying Claire, and he makes it sound like they're saying Claire. Yeah, just realizing that you can play on just how things sound and play with sound, really. I thought that was cool. And I mean, yeah, obviously Dilla has flipped everything crazy. But besides Dilla and the obvious ones, Dilla and Madlib and Kanye, and big people for me were, like I said, Clams Casino back then. But even now, like, I'm more influenced by smaller artists and producers and people in the community. SunoftheSol with Sunday Dinner is a huge influence, and anytime I want to be inspired, I kind of like listen to him, and a few other cats too. Nameless, obviously. I think he has like a modern classic with Chips, and that's a huge influence too. Zoomo, he's got, you know, just a way with flipping samples. That's just, he's got a special touch with it. Yeah, I look up more to my peers, which I just think it's crazy I get to call these people peers, you know. So yeah, that's
Okay, yo. Sunday Dinner Records, man. I definitely gotta do something, man. I'm trying to, man. I got so many ideas, man. I'm just trying to figure everything out right now, but yeah, man. Zoomo, and who was the other one? SunoftheSol. Period. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely tap in with them as well. But okay, so check this out. Can you recommend some must watch, read, or listen to content from our listeners on their journey in music? And then it can be anything like you know, a podcast, YouTube tutorial, book, music, movies, documentaries, anything like that.
recommend anyone that I'm mentioning too. Definitely look them up. So if you're not familiar with Sunday Dinner, check them out. SunoftheSol, check them out. All these people, Nameless, check all these people out. There's a whole, I just dove into Instagram one day, man, when I got back into beat making, and have found myself in this whole world. And it's really fruitful. You know, it's kind of one of those get in what you put in, or get out what you put in things. But if you're listening to this, like, yeah, it's just a step away. You're probably onto it already. So there's a whole world out there of like really talented cats. So
yeah, I agree. There's so much talent in this world, man. All we gotta do is you gotta just look, and you can find anybody, man. Like, yeah, man. All right, so Sunday Dinner Records, man. SunoftheSol, Zoomo. I think his Twitter handle is like Zoomo Guy, and amongst other people, man. So let's get to like your social media, man. I'll be like paying attention to social media, like especially Twitter and Instagram. But on your social media, like you use like Koala Sampler, you use a Kai MPC, you use a SP404 to create your music. But you know, why do you use like these specific musical equipment, analog equipment, digital audio workstations, like, and does each piece have their own place in creating their, you know, your music?
yeah, Koala, yeah. And I've got the NPC Live too. Yeah, and 404, the A, yeah. The workflow I prefer is definitely the NPC workflow. Obviously, you can menu dive and like manipulate more than the others. And honestly, in PCs now, where it's just a computer, like it's just a computer with the pads. So you can definitely, it's a whole DAW. So I mean, that's definitely my preferred workflow. But I definitely find myself on Koala a whole lot, like a whole lot, like more than I'd be like willing to admit, honestly. Like some of the placements I've got are beats on Koala. So like that thing is a monster, like for real. It's a literal SP in your pocket, as far as I'm concerned. I haven't played with the new SP, but yeah. And as far as the SP goes for me, like I have no complaints with it, but I've never even made a beat with the SP. I've used it straight for the effects. It's been a pure like performance thing for me. And that's not to knock any. I think it's impressive that you can make a beat on that. Not having the screen like really is crazy to me. But yeah, the SP is a straight performance thing to me. And shout out to Elf Audio for sure, because man, Koala is like the best. I think it's what, $4.99. It's probably altogether, after you get everything you need, everything you like really need, because I think you need, like, you gotta have like the chopping on there, and I think after that's said and done, it's under $10. Like, it's the best money you can spend as a producer, for sure, hands down. But yeah, and honestly, like, there's a whole wave of producers out there that's like strictly iOS, strictly like touchscreen on the phone, on the iPads. So like, yeah, you can do some wild things these days with it, and it's definitely impressed me. I love it.
Yeah, I use Koala Sampler in my music as well. I'm a machine head, but I'm open to using. I got my SP404 Mark II now, so. But I think the Elf Audio Koala Sampler just, man, it's on my phone. You know, like you can't be, like you said, you can't beat it, man. $10 for everything you need. All you maybe need is like maybe a MIDI keyboard, if that, and then a controller just so you can control the effects. And then also you can get the effects, Koala effects also, man. So endless possibilities these days, man. Ain't no, like, if you just have a computer or a tablet or your phone, you can make beats, man, and make them slap too, yo. So you just gave me an idea, Young Link. You just gave me an idea. I'm about to, oh man, yo, we're about to listen to this joint real quick, but I'm gonna be back, yo. Woo. You tapped in with Young Link, episode number 66 of the Rex Show podcast, man.
Oh.
Yo, I was hungrier than you were. Yeah, that's why my words cut like DJ Q-Bird. Thick it fur, fuck out of here, nigga. I'm heating up like oil in a frying pan. Yeah, before power only goes, I knew it was Iron Man. Yeah, study mathematics and did science, fam. Money's the only food on the diagram for my diet plan. Yeah. See the carrots, yeah. My only nutrition is how my tooth listen. I'm so VA, I'm too rich, man. I threw kisses through dragon lips, yo. We had roaches in the cabinets, yo. If I ain't the GOAT, I'm the Baphomet, yo. The Black Oscar Pistorius, Blade Runner, glorious, victorious. How triumphant the story is, yo. Don't spoil it. Sell it back, don't short it. Hit the game and make a splash. I'm the bomb and hitting the toilet. Yeah, I grind your bones in the dust before I snort it. Then upload it to the web once I record it. Dog, my nuts swing like a corpse on a meat hook. The heavy-handed justice chopping arms off the deep hook. A gray body found face down in the creek brook. That's how they gonna say your face in the sink look. Yo, heed the advice, learn to read and to write. I probably led a rebellion in a previous life. I'm a beacon of light, even at night. I blind the eyes of the demons I fight, and even make Christ squeeze them tight. Yo, my heart is solid rock. I throw a Molotov. Started off with a monologue, then tears turn to waterfalls, wavy like kelp in a current. They made enough bombs to blow up the world as a helpful deterrent. Wow, geez, thanks. What a way to delay D-Day. Meanwhile, I opt to chop a block like some DJ. The life I lead each day to be the screenplay. Stand strong, there ain't a weekday. I have a weekday. It's the linguist with a hunger that can't be relinquished. Tear the fabric of life from me and give it to my seamstress. Walk with your teeth in hand like the tooth fairy was wingless. Track my lineage back to the Sumerian kings list. Might just let you live if you ask me enough. My body too holy to touch that tilapia stuff. I'm getting big, got my calories up, free up. Shit getting dark, please turn the opacity up. Listen, dumb motherfucker, I beats that. Middleman, always pinching out of your weed bag. Heard I wasn't worthy of love, I ain't believe that. Mind games, spinning my top like a Sega Dreamcast. Ease back, I don't throw my life on the net. So what I do and who I do it with, none of your beeswax. So understand this about me, I'm a Scorpio. I tap into the dark side with each, my mind's a horror show. Yo, them youngins kill Habibi at the corner store. I ain't have all the resources, but I'm resourceful though. Truthfully, you niggas be lying. And it's corny, yo, if you ask me, you all dickheads like a glory hole. Yo, my face covered up with a stocking. I beating the only problem that I'm ducking and dodging. Wild out when my mother won't watching and keep a sticker on my MacBook camera cause Big Brother is watching. Peace.
This track is called Hungrier Than You by YNGLNK. Check it out now. By the time this airs, it'll be on the DSPs and Bandcamp and stuff like that. But check it out on Bandcamp first, support on Bandcamp, and then go to the DSPs and stream that joint, man. But yo, YNGLNK, you are named after an iconic Nintendo game, Legend of Zelda, man. I loved that game as a kid. Thanks to my pop-up. And you have an amazing way of like remixing the vocals over your beats as well. So like, was video games a major part of your childhood? And then how do you get in the mood to craft your beats? And do you play video games first? What do you do first before you start making beats? And I know I just had a newborn, so congrats on that again. And then also I'm pretty sure you have either a girlfriend or wife. How do you find the time to do that, yo?
Appreciate that. Getting in the mood to make music. Man, I'm a father of 3, so like really I just put my kids to sleep. And then as long as I don't have like something going on with my wife, like I just really gotta relax, so smoke a little something, maybe sip a little something. I'm not a big drinker, but yeah, for sure. It's crazy, yeah. It's hard to find time, having 3 kids, and they're all like relatively young. My oldest is 6, so. And I've got a newborn. I think you mentioned in a few episodes back, and I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, it's hard to find the time, honestly. So like, you work all day, you come home after you pick them up, and yeah, by the time they go down, you're about to go down. So you kind of have to have like a second wave of energy for sure. And I don't know. Luckily, I'm like a little insomniac. Not sure if that's the correct way to say it, but yeah, I'm kind of a night owl, so I easily stay up you know, to the early hours of the morning. And it's when most of my creating's done. Yeah.
Hey man, he just released a couple albums, man. Couple projects on Bandcamp, man. So support that on Bandcamp and the DSPs. But first Bandcamp, then the DSPs. All right, that's the cycle. All right, that's the cycle. Either direct buy the music from their website or Bandcamp, and then go to the DSPs to hear that shit. Yo, all right. But yo, Young Link, man, you got like 9 projects now. There'll probably be 12 by the time this episode airs, yo. Out on Bandcamp and Spotify, but and a drum kit as well on Bandcamp, and you got even more music on SoundCloud and countless videos to match, man. It's like all these joints be slapping, man. So we all know that, like, the future of content is visual now, right? So how do you go about matching videos with your beats?
Wow. Well, actually, yeah. So, actually, today, let's see, this is gonna air what, Sunday? Yeah. So, Sunday, I'm actually, by then I'll have the second flip tape out, which is really just like a collection of. I treat flips like remixing acapellas, just like exercising, because I think it's just, you know, kind of just gives you a base or a goal when creating a beat, and I don't know, it's just a good exercise for me, I think, and keeping me creative. So yeah, as far as like selecting what vocals to do, there's like so many tools now that you can separate vocals and isolate vocals. So like, really, as long as it doesn't have a vocal sample in it, you can really grab any acapella you want. And there's also like a ton of YouTube channels out there that have awesome quality acapellas. So, I mean, obviously I don't flip anything that I don't think is at least, you know, dope, or I guess like for social media trendy for sure. So I flipped the Munch song, so yeah. No, I mean, it's dope. I mean, I'm not into the whole drill wave, I guess, but yeah. Yeah, the visuals, I don't know. I definitely, like, if it's a smaller artist and I can use the music video, I will, and I'll edit it. You know, I'll like put filters on it and edit the video. And yeah, I usually go for like a inky, like comic book look with them, or like a straight like black and white. But yeah, other than that, if it's any bigger artist, you can't do that at all. I found that out the hard way. I'm pretty sure that's how I got my first Twitter account banned, and I ended up just deleting Twitter altogether. I don't know, for me, social media is like, the less distractions, the better, for sure. So I keep it minimal. I only have Instagram, so yeah, Instagram and Bandcamp. But yeah, other than that, obviously I'll go for like a 90s aesthetic. People dancing, just look up like b-boying videos or just dancing videos. I literally just like dive into rabbit holes on YouTube and just find things, you know, if it's not a recording of myself, obviously, playing the beat. But yeah, and I obviously edit all those videos. I treat the videos kind of like sampling as well, you know, especially if I'm not just screen grabbing a music video and slapping a filter on it. I'm, you know, throwing together different visuals and layering them, and, you know, making different parts of videos like the opacity on them, and yeah, layering all kinds of different visuals on top of each other. So we kind of sampling in that way too. Shout out to Tatsumaki. He's really, really good at it. Even in his like Instagram stories with like the GIFs and stuff, he's really good at like creating a whole vibe when he like posts beats on his stories. He's really good at that. So shout out to Tatsu. He's like the koala king to me.
Yeah, shout out to Tatsumaki. You know what I mean? Your friendly neighborhood Namekian. You know what I mean? Yo, he was actually a guest on the podcast as well. Just go back, however you're listening to the podcast, and just scroll down, man. You'll find him, man. That is a super popular episode. I think that was season 1. Might be season 2. I know it was last year, so. But yo, I'm forever grateful for Tatsumaki dropping jewels, man. And man, you're gonna definitely help a lot of people with that episode as well, man. So yo, man, 4 pillars of hip hop: DJing, MCing, breaking, graphing. Which element did you begin your journey with in music?
So, I mean, producing is definitely how I got into it. Hip hop. So when I first started making beats, and they were a lot darker and like more trap oriented, I was living in Buffalo, and I met one of my best friends ever. His name was Anthony, and yeah, he's actually not with us anymore. So rest in peace, Anthony, for sure. Rest in peace, Ant. R.I.P. Ant, for sure. But I started making beats for him, and he had just seen me. You know, we had met each other through a mutual friend, and you know, had drinks together and stuff, been to parties, and he just saw me messing around with like I said, GarageBand back then. Saw me messing around with GarageBand and was like, man, you should make me some beats. And so that became a whole thing, and I think that's another reason why I gravitate towards remixing, because I've always had, you know, a vocal presence there when I've made beats. So yeah, for sure. But as far as the strict 4 pillars, I spent I would say a good 3 years DJing. I lived out west in Oakland for 5 years, I think. And a good chunk of that I was doing like a monthly gig out there. Just a good like 3-hour set. And yeah, like I said, monthly. So DJing. And yeah, that's another aspect where you get the remixing from, because obviously I would, you know, loop instrumental parts of records and throw acapellas over them, and yeah, DJ. yeah, no, I wouldn't just throw a playlist on.
Yeah, disrespecting disrespecting the art form, man. Yo, I appreciate that, yo. So, yo, so giving some thought, like, can you name your like adolescent or childhood and then adult beatmaker superheroes? You know, just tell us why they were so important at those specific times in your life. And major key alert, no genres off limits, bro, because everything inspires everything. That's a dope beat tape title, yo. Everything inspires everything. Yo, y'all don't steal that, yo. For real, yo. Copyrighted, trademarked.
I mean, adolescent, as far as, I guess you're talking like who inspired me younger. Like I said, it's definitely like more of the trappier people, Clams Casino. Even like Lex Luger and all those guys. man, I don't even. There were some producers I was listening to back then that were like Young God, I think his name was, but he produced like a lot of the like Young Lean beats. But like, yeah, a lot of the darker, like trappier stuff I was into. And back then I wouldn't even like put like acapellas of songs over my beats. I would put like movie like monologues over it, like depressing stuff. Yeah, it was definitely like a moody vibe that I was on back then, for sure. Yeah. But I did that whole vibe for a few years with the DJing, and then I just kind of tapped out and got married and had kids. And after I kind of settled into that lifestyle, feel like you need a hobby, so I picked it back up. And I actually picked it back up because of a guy that's in my area I found out about through a mutual friend, Wigflippa. Yeah, I mentioned him earlier. He's a rapper, MC on the Sunday Dinner label, and he's just super dope. Like lyrical flow, like he can switch his flow up. He can sing, like dude can sing, and like he can break down the melodies, like yeah. And I had never heard anyone in that genre or doing anything like that in my area, and so when I did, and it was so great, it just inspired me to like pick the whole process back up again. So shout out to him for sure. Yeah, an adult superhero. I mean, man, like I said, SunoftheSol is a big inspiration. Zoomo is a big inspiration. And then besides, like, other than that, it's all like obvious, Madlib, Dilla, Alchemist, typical stuff. But yeah, definitely like just people in the community, man. Like, I hear amazing beats every day just scrolling through Instagram, so it's really awesome.
Yeah, man. That's the same way I just be learning about people, man. Just log into Instagram and just what's the algorithm gonna feed you today, and then it's always beat makers making beats, live instrumentation, beat videos, stuff like that. That's always in my algorithm. So yeah, man, you can't go wrong with Madlib, Dilla, and then everybody else as well, man. But everybody that I be seeing lately and that I've had the honor of either connecting with, linking with, or doing an episode with, always inspires as well, man. So yeah, man. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight some of your discography, man, like YNGLNK and Friends, Crazy with the amazing guests you had on there and your beats. Guardian Flips Volume 1, Flips Volume 1. Like, people can just put those on and vibe out, man. So what were the inspirations behind those projects, and how'd you get them to come together?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so the inspiration behind YNGLNK and Friends was the whole process of like getting back into beat making, and obviously then I have social media and it's more prominent. When I first started making beats, I don't even know if Instagram was around yet, but yeah, and when I hopped on Instagram, I found this whole world of people, and everybody was just so supportive and collaborative, and people will give you critiques, and they don't try. Most of the people don't gatekeep any kind of information or any kind of secret sauce. You know, like people want to see other people do great in this community for the most part, I feel. And it was just super inspiring. So I wanted to do a project that kind of just captured that feeling. And so I grabbed a lot of features, and rapping features and production features. Because I didn't want the project to just be my sound. I wanted it to be an experience and it feel like the beat making community, you know, kind of like it feels like an extended version of you scrolling through your Instagram feed if you're in this beat making community. So there's like an interlude in there from Tatsumaki, an interlude from Three Sleeves, who's actually pretty close to me too, I found out, which is super dope, and I hope to link with him soon. I mean, there's rapping features from Jigsaw Paul, Yo Daddy Doe, Wigflippa gave me an incredible verses. Like, I'll put it up. I think the second verse on Eye to Eye is one of Wig's best verses. But yeah, man, it was just all about the community and like capturing the feeling of it, and kind of like you do with the podcast, honestly, like just sharing that and sharing that feeling, you know. And yeah, it was just overwhelming to me, and I just wanted to capture it for sure. As far as the flips, like I said, I just exercise with those, and you know, hopefully they end up coming out dope. Some of them do. And I make a ton of them, and you know, I usually trim them down to 20 or 30. And yeah, I just don't believe anymore. I used to be really bad about hoarding music. I just started a series actually all about like the opposite of that. Like, it's all about creating and releasing and just letting it go to the public. But yeah, so I don't believe in like hoarding those anymore, or just having them be, you know, a video someone sees once on my Instagram. So I'll package the best ones, I feel, and put them on my Bandcamp, and they're usually only a few dollars. So for those that want to support, obviously they can't go on streaming, but yeah, YNGLNK and Friends is on streaming. So yeah, definitely check that out on Spotify if you can. If you want to check it out, there's you'll have fun. There's a lot of cool people on there.
Yeah, man, y'all go ahead and check out YNGLNK and Friends on DSPs, and then also first support it on Bandcamp. But yeah, man, like, yo, those, I was like, yo, he definitely got something, yo. And one thing I always like try and do is to get people on the show that don't sound like anybody else, you know. So everybody's different, everybody got their own little their own sound, and then, you know what I mean, personality, man. That's what, you know what I mean, personality matters, man. Your own personality, the way you create, the way you express yourself, right? Because everybody that's creating anything is expressing themselves. So I think that's life, man. But yo, let me keep going, man. So you're currently out of Lake Girardeau, Missouri, right? What's the beat scene like out there, you know, in your like specific area? And then how can others support you and other beat makers in that area, you know?
Yeah, Cape Girardeau. I mean, there's, like I said, it inspired me seeing the homie Wigflippa to get back into it. So there's not really a scene of it here. We joke about it pretty often. Like, we can't get booked around here because there's just not, it just doesn't happen. There's not, it's like, there's a lot of like bluegrass acts and folky acts. Yeah, and a lot of like cover bands. It's a small town, so it's not a lot of like the closest city is St. Louis. Like there's definitely they've got a little community up there. There's like a beat battle that happens. I want to say like monthly. There's definitely like a little community up there, but I mean it's a couple hours away, and yeah, there's definitely people up there doing their thing for sure. Excuse me, Sovereign. She's from St. Louis. I'm not sure if she's still residing there or not, but yeah, she's definitely from STL, and yeah, she's all over, like working with Griselda and stuff. She was just on the new Rome Streets album, so shout out to her too. But yeah, there's not a big scene here for that, and really the Mideast, I feel like there's like pockets of it here and there, you know, like Chicago obviously, and etc. But yeah, there's a lot of land around all those places, so yeah. But check all those people out, man. Check Wigflippa out. He's got projects. He's definitely got some fire on the way, for sure.
Definitely, y'all heard it here first, man. Check out Wigflippa. Hey, yo, Lake Girardeau, Missouri, man. I know y'all got some beat makers out there, man. Let yourself be known. Tap in with the Red Show podcast, man. Let's get y'all out there, man. I know they probably like hiding, man. You know, with social media, you really don't need to, but get your name out there so we can know who you are and start supporting, man. So, all right, last two questions before we bring this home, man. What's one thing you wish you knew before you started your own music creation journey?
One thing I wish I knew, really kind of the vibe I'm on now is like this create and release thing. You know, I wish I just knew that it doesn't matter, you know. All these beats are kind of like, you know, I'm in this little group chat. It's called Duck World. And we do like sample challenges every week and stuff. And someone in there was talking about how they didn't release music for years because it was all about the process for them. And so they didn't feel like, you know, they just had deleted tons of music until they found this community on Instagram. And, you know, I was thinking about that and just about, yeah, I think someone in there had responded like, you should think about it. If it helped you in creating it, you could possibly help somebody in listening to it. So I just kind of sat on that for a little bit and honestly thought about, like, if I'm investing my time into it, it's worth just having out, you know. And if whoever's going to rock with it is going to rock with it, because, I mean, I'm my own biggest fan, honestly. I listen to everything I make, so I think it needs to be that way, you know. And people gravitate towards it, you know. I think if you rock with yourself enough, you will eventually start to hone in on your craft, and the people will come, you know. So I definitely wish I knew that. Just focus, just head down, create, let it go, and don't be afraid to take shots. That's the advice back when I had Twitter that I used to yell on there a lot about. I'm always in somebody's DMs or emails, you know. To me, that's the same as like not releasing music. Like, you never know what's gonna land. And you've seen so many stories, if you watch any like producer interviews or any kind of producing content, like so many beat makers and producers say that artists pick the last thing they expect. So to me, like, why would you not shoot your shot? Like, something might stick. And, you know, you never know what and where and who it could be. So if you have the information available to you, like, shoot your shot. I mean, definitely don't, like I said, hone in on your stuff and get comfortable, at least comfortable enough that you think you can shoot your shot. But, you know, if you got the open shot, shoot it. For sure. Definitely my piece of advice. Number one.
You heard it, man. Young Link said, shoot your shot, man. You know, like, make and release it. You know, like, that's a big thing that I've been, like, tweeting lately is beat makers, like, stop hoarding your fucking beats, man. Yo, let me turn the music down, man. Beat makers, stop hoarding your fucking beats, man. Create them things, put it together for a project, and release it to the world, man. You never know who's listening, man. Last episode of the Rush Show podcast, man, episode 65, I said, yo, people are listening. Keep going, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just putting that out there because, yo, I'm listening. And once I like your beats and I like your music, I know you out there, you're putting yourself out there. Yo, I'm gonna put you on, man. And I don't know exactly how many people listen to the podcast, man, but yeah, I mean, I know people are listening. So I'm gonna make it the best, put it out there, and if it sticks with somebody or helps somebody, that's what it's gonna do, man. So, you know what I mean? Don't be scared, man. Just do it, man. All right? Put it out there, man. But yo, okay, Young Link, man, episode 66, last question before we bring it home, man. What should the internets look out for from you, Young Link, in 2022? And then how can the internets tap into you, you know, your music, your stream of creation? You know, go ahead and, you know, plug your socials, your projects, and any final thoughts that you might have, yo.
In 2022, I don't have like confirmed release dates for all of these things, but you can expect a new project from me for sure, like an actual project, like a la Young Link and Friends, like a cassette run more than likely. It's got a title, it's got artwork, it's got a lot of material for it. I'm sure some still to be created and some to be trimmed off. But yeah, it's going to be called The Sky Showed Me. And definitely look out for that this year. Things I will confirm on it are features from Brain Orchestra, Yo Daddy Doe, Ife Nero with the Sunday Dinner Crew, and yeah, better quality than you've heard from me. It's definitely going to be upped. You can expect that. But I've also got albums coming out with Yo Daddy Doe and Showtime. They're going to be under the name We May Be Cousins. Yeah, it's fully produced by me, and it's got some dope joints on there. I'm super excited about. I'm working on a project with AV8. Shout out to him. Follow him. Follow all these people. I'm working on a project with Ife Nero. And I'm got a project coming out fully produced by me with Jigsaw Paul. Definitely check him out. I've got a few joints on his last album too, so check all these people out. Like I said, I work with a lot of the same crew, and they're all insanely talented. So, and if you open the door to one of them, you'll open a door to this whole world that I'm talking about. And yeah, there's a lot of great music being made that really, all of it deserves more eyes and ears, so for sure. And yeah, my socials, the only one I have is Instagram, Young Link, at YNGLNK with 2 underscores at the end. I don't know why. I usually just choose some weird character to throw in my shit. For sure. But yeah, final thoughts, man. Just thank you. Thank you for this platform. And I love the podcast. I tune into it all the time. Especially when you highlight, more smaller acts, which you do very well. And yeah, shout out to everybody you have highlighted, and it's an honor to be on here. Look out for bigger and better things from me, and yeah, hit me up in the DMs, and yeah, thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Golden, for sure. Peace.
Yeah, man. Yo, Young Link, I appreciate you for being on the show. Y'all tap in to Young Link, man. Young Link __ on Instagram. Check him out on Bandcamp. Check him out on his DSPs. I appreciate you for being on the show. That's going to bring episode number 66 to a conclusion. But before that, we're going to go into some of his flips before we end it. And I hope y'all enjoy this, man. I think he's definitely got something, man, and y'all tap in, man, and enjoy this. If y'all made it this far, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for following. Thank you for supporting any way that you can. There's always a link to support in the description of the show, so go ahead and go down to the link in the description of the show. There's also a link to the guests' information and where you can find their music, or their link tree. And yeah, man, yo, the next 2 weeks, man, y'all in for even more treats, man. I'm like geeked out, man, about this. So yo, y'all enjoy this, man, and enjoy your weekend. Count your blessings, not your problems. And I'm gonna see y'all next week on another episode of the Rec Show podcast, man. Peace and love, yo. Bye, 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 bye.
At the penthouse, breaking bread with a thick brick house. I digged her down, she took the shit like a big gal. The picture fell. I ain't gotta have a pitch for this to sell. This shit sell itself. I got new shit. Red bone bitch with the yellow tail, even yellow tail. Picture me jealous, whole LOL, LMAO. The all white Alfa Romeo look like yayo. I'm on my way, yo. If the clothes made by Josue, then it's fuego. The cold got flames on it like it came straight from Waco. The cream suede Kanye style Fredo. Scott Baio, Mayo. I'm waving high to a hater, bitch, I may know. Drive by, spray a Laredo with 5 Dracos. The behind on the rape though, it look like one of Draco's. The shape is cold, I'm baking coke. I made all this cake, I'm scraping the bowl like an 8-year-old. Shake you out your J's, made your ankle roll. Do you dirty like Kobe did Jalen Rose. Come on, give you 81. Basquiat downtown, 81. 81. Basquiat downtown, 81. The Gucci frames was made in 81. I'm in the Mercedes, I'm doing 81. Kobe gave the homie Jalen 81. Yeah, 81.
Depths of the man that I was from the start. Stay next to the fam, got a place in my heart, chest, breath on demand. The rest of the plan got scrapped when I landed, invested in arcs. I do less when I stretch before I hit the bar. Pull up, 10 crests on the shoulder of the coat of arms. Told you we the best till we good and gone. Yeah, love shared, it was both ours. Say a prayer, light more dark. Blood in the water when I go Life sweet when you know the cost. 1,000 yards stare, I was looking sauce. Smokers call fashion in the air. Not scared when we send them off. That's life, black plight, can't get along. Not alone. Tandem remarks, who the fuck playing like the brand isn't strong? In the globe code that the pharaoh hand sitting on, my ass in the throne. We running these checks and balances on fam check, sis, dashes and home. Hard work, callous the palm, that isn't wrong. So bad it done grown, sadness gone.
The bracelet matches a set. My brother name is Ting the Dollar. Stop all that back and forth over the net. My mama wish I would've went corporate. She wish I would've went exec. I still turn to a CEO, so the lifestyle she respect. Hey, 2 sprinters to Quebec. Chérie, où est mon bec? They only giving niggas +1, so I never pull up to the Met. You know I gotta bring the set. You know I gotta bring the G block. You know I gotta bring the D block. Cause you know how sticky it get. Hey. You know how sticky it get, hey. You know how sticky it get, hey. You know how sticky it get, hey. She want me to play with that cat, hey. She love how I make her no wet, hey. You know how sticky it get, hey. Hey yo, Eric, bring them girls to the stage, cause somebody's getting paid, and free big slime out the cage. And shorty try to play it cool, but now she wish she would've stayed, cause every song that I made, ringing like I got engaged. I love my guys, I wouldn't trade, ay. From the cradle to the grave, ay. Gordo got me on the way, and got me on the way. Couple hits, now you brave. What? Niggas better behave. What? All that pumping up your chest. What? All that talk about the best. What? You know how sticky it gets. Yeah. If I'm with 2 of them, then it's a threesome. If she alone, you know she a freak one. If it's an escort, it's a police one. King of the hill, you know it's a steep one. If we together, you know it's a brief one. Back in the ocean, you know it's a deep one. Forgave niggas and they feelings. Lucky for y'all, we don't do civilians. You say I changed, I say that I million. I did. The toughest actor follows back on tour. Off-road, made back, Pyrex, trap, Virgil came back through the boy. Damn. That's something to me, niggas really had their back turned to me. I ain't talking my assistant when I say niggas down to pack something for me. Then they thought they had a trap set for me. How you really think that went for me? Niggas gotta do a fact check for me. When everything's put to rest, when everybody takes a breath, and everything gets addressed, it's you alone with your regrets. All that pumping up your chest, all that talk about the best. You know how sticky it gets.
Like we weren't supposed to come up with something this quick. Like something happened.
why I'm fucking this ill, my nigga. I just am. SC gang. Yo, every day I pray to J Dilla. It's a full-time job not to spray a nigga. All this dope ain't gon' sell itself. Gunshot made his stomach melt. Pulled off in the Audi wagon. Did a U, he came back with fully automatics. Mad Max with the black Mac. Left his body parts in a trash bag. Up in visits talking past glass. Now we spot divots eating crab legs. Everything gon' be vintage. Pouring champagnes over scale slide, we did it. Aventadors on tour. So many guns on me, you would think it's war. Not at all, I'm just paranoid. Parajumpers, Vail Wayne, we them variables. Close my eyes, I seen pies. Inhaled, I smelled crime. Kept my ears open, I was focused. 30 on 6 shells to flip your Lotus. These niggas bogus. They like 3/4. Lyrically, I'm off the boat with it. Studded Lou B duffel with stupid coke in it. Assholes with gas stoves. Nigga, you reap what you sow. Lex LFA, I'm out on Chippewa. I'm the dopest, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Like Adolf, I got no remorse. Slice your baby mom with the dirty box cutter. The real hood forever. Finesse writing, skin tight mosquito. Poetic gun flow. I'm Nikki Giovanni with the hue. Blood stains on my stiletto. Stepping on your throat. Worse than Hitler. Burning purple OG. I'm Illmatic ×3. Sick destiny. Visualize the hustler's complexity. Murderous tendencies. Balenciaga bag full of blue face Benjis. Keisha Plum. Westside Gun. 716 infamy.